Are you one of those girlies who's ever doubted herself, maybe told herself, like, who am I to go after that big dream that I have, or have these audacious goals, or want to even create, or even have that hesitation, nervousness when even thinking about doing those kinds of things, and you're ready to learn how to start unpacking that? Then this episode is for you. Welcome to where you are finally able to get unstuck and experience nervous system peace that is integrated into your everyday life as your new normal. Because transformation is a way of life here, and yours begins now. So most people have heard of the nature versus nurture argument that states basically which one has the predominating effect on an individual's life as they are growing up. Is it the nurturing impact of the caregiver that is looking over the individual, or is it the nurture, or is it the nature of the environment that is taking over, such as like war zones, poverty, the ghetto, things of that nature? Like, which one has a more dominating impact on the individual's developmental, psychological, physical, everything, right? And so this has always been a really big debate in the psychology field. Hey, really quick, did you know that we have a free quiz for you to help understand how to heal your feminine archetype and steps on what to do for your specific answers? Go ahead and find the links in the description, and we'll see you there. And one of the things I actually want to point to is the study of epigenetics. So epigenetics is the study of environmental factors and behaviors that influence gene expression without actually changing the DNA sequence itself. Like, you're not bringing something external and literally shifting the sequence. It is being done and imprinted on a chemical level through the experiences and the frequencies we operate at and find ourselves in when we are going through life in itself. What is really cool is we can actually tap into those specific frequencies due to the thoughts and nature of the thoughts, the frequency of the thoughts, how it is still replicating within our bodies, heal it so that we do not continue to program it with it again. This is where you will often hear me talk about being the architect of your life. Create with what it is you're wanting to do. But the most and hardest step, in my opinion anyways, the hardest step is that we are to recognize what's wrong. Because if we don't know or even have the ability to recognize behaviors because we've never seen it before that are wrong or misaligned, really is what it is, that it's a misaligned energy or frequency that we do not desire to create with. And so we technically will label them as humans as bad, wrong, negative, things of that nature, because it helps our brains differentiate if we want to continue to create with it. Which, if you are asked, do you want to continue to create with something that makes you feel like shit and you feel really, and all these, you list all these negative things, like, most people are going to be like, no, get away from me. Rightfully so, understandably so. With that being said, we don't want to continue to create with the negative things, but if we don't know these people, patterns, or anything is the reason we are creating and having this, I think of it literally like Scooby-Doo, how they unmask the person, like, oh my gosh, such and such, I would have never thought it was you. And that's literally what it's like when we start identifying the patterns and where it comes from and what's taken place. Where you've heard people say generational trauma. Yes, this is absolutely all in that same vein, because when we recognize the source, oftentimes it's not something us, but if it is us on a DNA level, which you can have weird abnormal fears of something, say like a fear of flying in planes, right? But in this lifetime, you have had nothing that has ever happened in your life that rationalizes because you're always scared of like the plane falling out of the sky. Let's say you had another lifetime that something exactly like that happened. So your soul, your coding for where your soul is traveling to as we go through lifetimes will bring in that as well. So that's where some of this is going as well. And so we can actually pinpoint. It's cool. There's a lot of research behind this stuff. And so I encourage you to dig into it, honestly, because it's, especially as we're going into these next, like I say, this next decade, it's going to be phenomenal for everybody. Healing, waking up, their bodies starting to remember again is a lot of things, because I started to remember stuff and I'm like, oh yeah, and it connects the dots, right? It just makes sense. And you're like, oh yeah, okay, this is right. Now we can understand where the root cause of this is, but these are some of those techniques that I work with my clients and exactly this type of stuff, and real-time coaching and working with them and walking them through it. But let me know if that's something you're interested in, because we do have groups starting in September. The beginning of September, we start our next group. And so if that's something you're interested in, we have free consultation calls. We can get you hooked up. We have our research study going on too. So go into it, because this is part of pulling some of this stuff out. We are pulling it back and really getting clear on where it's actually coming from. You'll often hear me say, well, where's the root cause? Where did this really come from? How did this really get here to begin with? Because it had to originate somewhere. Is it me? Is it my DNA strands? Is it environmental, right? Like, where did this come from? Because most people will often find themselves, especially if they had a really critical parent downing them, they'll hear that parent into their adulthood until they get a hold of it, say, no, I don't want to create with you anymore. I'm going to set you over there, wherever you want to do with them, and then continue your life as you design it to be, not your parents or caregivers or whoever raised you with these critical belief systems. But again, we have to first get consciously clear of what it is we're creating with. And that's what I wanted to get into really quick and help you understand a little bit, especially if you go into meditation and you're working with that. Here are some little tips and tricks that you can start doing that will help you get more clear on the root cause. So one of the most important things we can do is become hyper aware of when something does not feel good in our body. It could be when we walk into an environment, you just feel off. You just like, don't really feel very good. And it could be the environment. It could be the people specifically. It could be a variety of things. But for me, that's what I teach my clients too. The moment you feel something off in your body, my ears perk up and I'm like, ooh, we need to assess the environment, what's happening here. And I will start to become more aware of my environment, because now I'm consciously alert. Something in my body is like not right and I don't like it. We need to figure this out. Because it could simply be like, this is a negative environment, so we need to leave, or it could be the people. And that is one of the key things I personally always look for. Because if we have subconscious programming still playing out in our energetic field, we will still be creating with people who also have that frequency that is the mirror back to us. It is the opposite. And it can be looked at in a variety of different ways on how the magnetism really is what it is. We are brought together. So some people look at it from a polarity aspect. Some people look at it as we are vibrating at the same frequency. The reality is we need to heal it, whatever it is. And so the biggest thing that we can look at is, whose energy is this? Most importantly, where did this come from? Is this someone that is creating with a pure intent, or is there a wound of mine showing up that is wanting to be seen, and it is using this person as that reflection? And I always use people as a reflection to kind of determine like where I'm at, because either way, it'll tell you, is this person someone who's aligned and you're wanting to positively create with, or is this someone who's popping up with negativity, if you will, and negativity again, if you will, if you're looking at it from the sense that, oh, this is wrong, this is bad, this is whatever. I just look at misaligned. Is this an alignment with what I'm wanting to create with or not? Because if it's not, of course, I'm going to try to gain awareness, like coming from, where are we going? How is this impacting me? Because there's something always there. Hey, really quick, did you know that we have a free self-paced course, 10 days to calm your chaos and heal your nervous system? The links are down in the description. It's completely free, so head on over there and we'll see you there. And one of the easiest things that we can start doing is noticing. So say you feel like icky, like your body, that's one of the things I felt recently in a situation. I was like, yeah, let's go. And the universe will test us too. And it's okay that you're being tested. It's okay. Things are going to present, because we still live in the human world. We are just being shown a situation. Do you want to engage with it or not? Do you want to entertain this or not? And if it's not, then we have the awareness to decide, okay, well, how do I want to move through this, right? And like for me, a semi-recent interaction, it made me feel icky, and that my ears immediately perked up. What's going on in my environment? What's up with this individual? And what's happening? Right? Why do I feel this way? But first I had to start labeling. All right, well, it's not just like, what exactly does this feel like? And that's where that word came from. And so that's one of the things you can start doing, is so you'll first recognize, oh, I'm having a not so pleasant sensation, right? Because then like the opposite, like that really gooey, just like, you're almost like the heavens have opened up and they're singing and it's beautiful, right? That type of feeling, of course, my ears perk up to that too, because I'm like, ooh, what is this? Why do I feel this way? Naturally, just like oozing into it, because it feels so good. And so my ears also perk up, because I'm just like, oh, this is, because it's a heightened state of emotion of any degree and caliber. It is more of a intensity measurement I personally look at and I teach people to look at, because especially if we have heightened emotional triggers, it can be really easy to reel up into that space of really high emotions. And then of course we have to come back down, versus recognizing, oh, I'm feeling X, Y, and Z because it's maybe activating a survival response. So I want to take it to here. And if I'm not wanting to create with that, well, maybe instead of allowing myself to get there, I'll start defusing by, I can start naming it. Yeah, I recognize I feel really icky and this makes me feel really unsafe. And I don't want to really be here, actually. I kind of just want to go home and, or whatever, right? Like, those will start, if you start to entertain the conversation with yourself, you might be surprised of what actually just literally will start spilling out of your mouth. You're like, oh yeah, I do feel that way. Oh, this is interesting. Why am I feeling this? What's happening? Because while that, for a particular instance I'm thinking of, had nothing to do with my genetic coding per se, but it is something that was being presented to me. And it could be, it could be genetic, it could be generational, it could be a variety of things. But at the end of the day, it honestly doesn't really matter, because it all came back down to, where's the root feeling of this? And I was able to just pop it right open. I was like, oh yeah, no, okay, I don't want to create with this. I'm out. And that it was just that easy to be that detached and just know that, yeah, I already know what it is I'm looking for and wanting to create with, because of the alignment I've been really clear on. So it makes it very easy to move without an emotional attachment. And it just makes life really easy. And it's just like that ooey goodness, where you know you are fully able, capable, and aware of what is going on. But first, it starts in the body, and it starts with feeling safe and knowing that we've got it and we've fully got ourselves, most importantly, not just every situation, but we are always going to take care of ourselves, because we know that we always got it. We've got ourselves always taken care of, that we never have to worry about it. So go ahead and try those techniques. Hop on over to the meditation. One of the key things is creating safety in the body. And one of the ways we can start doing that, if we're new to meditation especially, is creating an environment in our mind that has the easy ability for us to create the environment we want, that brings and elicits that peace. Like for me, I love the ocean. That is one of my favorite places. I can immediately relax. So no wonder it was my specific thing. But you might have like mountains or streams or the river. I don't know, whatever resonates and just like makes you feel so good is the biggest thing that I'm looking for. So hop on over there and let me know how today's episode resonated, and I'll catch y'all next time.